everyone, and welcome back to Rolls of Fate. Previously, our hunters worked together to defeat the nasty vampire man by the name of Nathaniel, although not without some losses. Both Seuss and Evie were bitten and turned. Seuss has already completed their transformation, but Evie is in the process of changing. Nathaniel escaped due to Iris's insistence that perhaps they could create a cure from some of his blood. Briar met up with the mysterious sheriff Martin Field, who is not quite all what he seems. Grandma Joan has opened her heart and home to the hunters, giving them a place to stay and rest. What shall our hunters get up to before they must solve another mystery? So, how does Briar feel after Martin left the bar?
He is shaken up, and he's like, okay, I had my drink. I'm going back to my motel room now.
Okay. We're gonna switch to Martin leaving the bar. He walks out and he's thinking to himself, he's wondering why he went there in the first place. He wasn't really looking for a drink, but something drew him there. And he figured out pretty quickly what it was. It was the guy at the bar. And he didn't know exactly why, but there was something important there that he needed to investigate. It didn't seem like the guy was up for much conversation, so he ordered a drink and left pretty quickly. He realizes that he's feeling drawn to go somewhere else. And so he follows this feeling, and he ends up at the mines. And he goes through and he recovers the necklace that we established at the end of the last session. Goes and he recovers it, and then
Doesn't see the disembodied leg.
Oh, he does. He just doesn't pay it any mind. He doesn't pay it any mind. He's after one thing, and that's whatever's drawn him here, and that is the necklace. And so he leaves, and he heads to his house, which is slightly out of town, a little bit more in the woods than most, and it's a rustic-looking cabin. And he goes in there, and he goes to his bedroom, and he opens a wardrobe, and he pulls back the false backing to reveal a safe. He unlocks the safe and opens it and places the necklace next to a completely clean human skull, and then he closes it. So what's Briar doing right now?
As soon as he gets back to his motel, he kind of just stands there for a moment, and he sighs, and he kind of starts packing up what very little he had left in the room and kind of just leaves it by the door. He's not leaving tonight, but he wants it ready tomorrow. He doesn't want to have to bother packing it tomorrow. They kind of just sits down at whatever little table the room might have, and he takes out his recorder and he starts going through the case, just wrapping up the case in a recording.
Okay.
That was some case. Now I'm stuck here. Hopefully it won't turn out too terribly.
Is that it?
Well, I assume you don't want me to recount the entirety of everything, so that's the end of the...
Okay. Does he have a little sign-off thing?
Not really.
Okay, so he just ends it however he wants to end it. Alright, that's valid. Probably right after he ends the recording, the woman from the mines appears again, and she's kind of sitting on the edge of the table, and she looks a little more transparent than she did before, because before she looked completely opaque, and you could totally see her, but now she's slightly transparent, and she says, "Hello, Briar. Did you tell him?"
He kind of just blinks, takes off his glasses, looks at her, puts them back on. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't even sure you were real, and I've kind of had other things to do, I'm afraid.
That's
Miss.
okay. I told him for you.
Does everyone in this fucking town have paranormal connections?
How do you mean?
Can everyone in the town just see ghosts? Do you even fucking bother asking me if you were just gonna do it yourself?
Well, I couldn't exactly do it myself. I had to have a conduit, I think is what you call it. I'm not sure. I haven't really been around technology that much, so I think that's what it's called, yes.
Speaking of you, who the fuck are you?
I don't really know at this point, but my name is Valencia.
Valencia.
Yeah.
Well, you already know my name. Oh.
I do. Your eyes, I couldn't help but notice that we kind of match.
Yeah, it's not just fan-fucking-tastic.
You don't seem very pleased to see me. I thought you would gain some kind of comfort from seeing me.
From being a ghost to a person I've never fucking met before, I don't even get comfort from normal people.
She kind of laughs and she says, well, that's unfortunate. I see you're planning on leaving?
Not leaving, as much as I don't want to trust, I don't want to risk that what she's saying is true, that somehow me leaving will be worse than me staying, so, but I don't exactly have a lot of money, my job isn't exactly the most well-paying, so I can't stay in the hotel, so she did offer a room. It'd be just stupid for me to just keep paying for a room when I have free one available to me.
She kind of nods and she says, yes, that makes sense. I was offered the same hospitality once. It was very kind of them, but as you can tell, it didn't end up working out. Not that it was their fault. There were various other things that occurred that led to me being how you see me now.
Yeah, well, people like us are assuming you were like me at one point. You don't
She nods and she says,
get
yeah.
happy endings.
Oh, don't I know that? Don't I know that?
What did you want with the sheriff anyways?
He and I are, well, we're connected, and he's very important to me, and I am very important to him, and I wish I could speak to him, but sadly he does not possess the same kind of sight that you do.
Oh, sorry, lady.
Yes, well, I've had a lot of sorry moments in my life. Too many for one lifetime, one might say. But to answer your question more specifically, I suppose, we consider ourselves siblings. He is my brother, and I am his sister. Though we were not born to the same parents, he was chosen to care for me and be my guardian when I was born. We've been close for our whole lives, and I wish I could hug him, but I can't.
I know that feeling.
Yes, it is a sad life to live with when you feel like you keep making mistakes and can never take them back, no matter how badly you want to. Anyway, I should leave you alone. I've probably been keeping you from getting some kind of rest.
No, what gives you that impression?
She laughs and says, well, perhaps I'll talk to you tomorrow. And she disappears.
Never a normal day, is it? He just gets up and kind of just face plants into bed. Doesn't even bother getting changed.
He's valid. Alright, Evie, I want to do a scene with you.
Okay, I'm here now.
Okay, so Evie, it's been a couple days and you feel absolutely terrible. You have the worst fever you've ever experienced in your whole life, and you're probably up in your bed, all bundled up, feeling like shit, and you hear a soft knock at your door. And the door swings open, and it's Seuss. Kind of comes in with a little bag, a grocery bag in hand, and they say, Hey Evie.
Hi.
I know how you're feeling, and I'm so sorry this happened. I wish I could have stopped it, but when the fever's over, the fever's gonna kill you, Evie. But
It's gonna what?
it's gonna kill you, and you're gonna come back like me. I wish you didn't have to go through that, but you have to, because if you don't, you'll just end up like that thing in the attic. But I brought you some stuff, and they walk over to your bed and kind of sit on the edge of it. I got you this. And they pull out a very large thing of SPF 100.
Sunscreen?
Yes, very, very large thing, like a Costco-sized thing of SPF 100.
Nice.
And then they pull out a pair of very, very dark sunglasses. They look really rad. They're like aviators, probably. Or actually, what style of sunglasses would Evie wear?
I don't know.
Aviators?
Sure.
It's their pair of aviator sunglasses. Very, very dark lenses. And they say, well, the sun won't kill you, but it'll make you weaker, and it really burns, so this'll help. They motion to the sunscreen, and since it's so bright out, you can't really see well. That's what the sunglasses are for. And then they rummage through their bag a bit more, and they pull out a blood bag. They're like, this is... I really shouldn't, but since I, work at the blood bank, I can easily obtain this kind of stuff. So this is for,
Suze, did you steal blood?
yeah, it's better than attacking random people on the street.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so this is for when you wake up. It's gonna be really soon.
Okay. We'll write a will too.
Do you want me to go, or?
No, stay, please.
Okay. I'll stay with you. And, Seuss sits with you until you die. You wake up, and it is nighttime, and Seuss is sitting... would you have a chair in your room?
Yeah.
Okay, Seuss is sitting in that chair, kind of just waiting, and they kind of perk their head up when you wake up, and you are so hungry. And Seuss says, how do you feel?
Hungry as hell.
And then they toss you the blood bag.
What am I supposed to do with this?
Eat it?
Can't eat a bag.
They pull out a straw, and they hand it to you. They say, drink it like a goddamn Capri Sun.
Love that.
That's actually all the scenes I had planned.
I just want to say, as soon as Briar comes in the next day, and he finds out that Nathaniel is fucking gone, first he's gonna be pissed, and he's gonna have some strong words with Iris off camera.
Oh.
And then he's going to start just going around the town trying to just look for any places that he might be hiding.
Okay.
Not gonna spring anything yet, but he's just looking and just marking down and like recording any places that he thinks might be potential vampire lair material.
Okay,
Because he is
so-
pissed.
So, is Briar doing that right now?
Yeah, that's what he's been doing for just the past few
Okay.
days.
So,
my God.
while you're doing that, you kind of... you see someone kind of come up over your shoulder and be like, what are you doing? And you turn around, and how tall is Briar again?
He's 5'4", and he just goes, "Don't you know
You
not to
see-
sneak up on a lady like that?"
You see
Before he even noticed who it
beautiful,
is.
beautiful, handsome, 5'11", 6-foot Sheriff Martin. It's like, so, what are you doing?
Just taking a walk.
Jesus.
You're taking a walk and, talking to yourself?
I have a recorder. I have a bad memory. I'm just trying to learn the layout of the town, since I'm gonna be here for a while.
He kind of just cocks an eyebrow and is like, okay.
Briar is just flushed, by the way. He looks like
Are you all right? You look a little hot.
I'm fine. I gotta go. Goodbye. And he just turns around and starts walking away.
He's like, wait. Do you want to get like a drink or ice cream or something? That might help you cool off.
Jesus Christ.
Oh,
I
just come on. And he kind of just
okay.
grabs your arm and starts walking to the ice cream parlor. What
Briar is just head empty, no thoughts.
No, I think you mean head empty, gay thoughts.
Oh yeah.
So, you get into the ice cream parlor, and what does Briar order? He's making you order something. You can't not order something. Any flavor.
Just a moment, I need to actually check something because I do actually have a picture of him eating ice cream.
Oh my god, that's wonderful. So Sheriff Martin orders
Vanilla.
vanilla. Okay. So Sheriff Martin orders 2-scoop tall thing of ice cream for each of you. He orders Rocky Road for himself and vanilla for you, and then he motions for you to sit down.
I guess I sit down.
He sits down and he says, "So you're new in town?
Yeah.
You I assume you helped Joan with the situation the other night?
Yeah.
Good. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So what are you doing here?
Right now, I don't really know. Joan called me here to ask for some help finding her grandkid that went missing, and then after I found the kid, she asked me to stay. I don't know why, but I don't really have anywhere else to go, so...
Martin kind of nods and he says, "Well, Since you were able to take care of yourself with that whole thing, I think you'll do pretty well here. So tell me, what happened at the house?
Well, I mean, I didn't you, you don't know? I mean, I figured the officer would have told you. I mean, he was getting attacked. I just happened to be passing by, so I helped the person who was attacking off him. But he was messy, but luckily Joan was driving by and she was able to grab him, patch him up.
Sheriff Martin's just kind of nodding. He's like, yeah, I'm sure Grandma Joan was just driving by. She tends to show up when it would be most convenient or helpful.
I mean, to be fair, her other grandkid insisted on tailing me, following me around with the case, so Joan honestly probably was just tailing us anyways, because, random adult person with teenager. You don't just trust random adults with their teenagers. That's a bad idea. So honestly, I think it would be less responsible for her to have not been driving around following us.
He nods and he says, yeah, I'm sure that's what happened. And, you're talking about Evie, yeah? Poor kid.
Yeah, that was the kid's name.
Poor kid. She's, been through a lot. I'm not at liberty to discuss it, but feel bad for that kid. She could do with some, positive, adults in her life.
Well, good thing she got Joan and what the fuck was their name? Shit with names. The other grandkid.
Seuss. They
Seuss,
they
yeah.
work down at the hospital in the blood bank.
Yeah, they seem alright. They seem like they're good care of her.
They're a good kid. And he continues eating his ice cream, and then he stands up, kind of pats you on the shoulders, and he says, good talk. I'll be seeing you around. And he leaves.
Yeah. And just like as soon as anytime that like he touches him, Briar just goes like stiff, just not moving.
Alright, he leaves, and do you finish your ice cream?
I guess.
Okay. So Evie, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Okay. Actually, first, Moss, how soon after the first mystery do you think you come to Evergrove? Because the next mystery starts like 3 weeks after the first mystery.
Boy, that's a question. Whatever's convenient. I don't know.
Okay, probably like, let's say a week before.
Cool, yes.
So, what does a normal day look like for each of your characters?
I'm a night person.
Okay. Valid. Evie is also quite the night person.
Hey!
I wonder why.
This is certainly not because you got turned into a vampire last mystery, and it was
Oh.
sad. Because you're a 17-year-old bean.
Somebody else can go while I'm doing things here.
Okay.
Let's just start with Briar, since I know you probably have something.
Yeah, after he has the town kind of cased out like we were doing last session, he just spends most of his time in his room, probably just like researching different paranormal things and doing his best to not interact with anyone.
And then Grandma Joan comes and she knocks at his door like once an hour and offers him freshly baked bread and delicious food.
And he awkwardly but politely accepts.
And then
sometimes.
he is forced to have a group meal because secretly she was actually inviting him to dinner at the main dining table.
I love it so much.
So he just spends his time in his room researching.
Yeah.
What does a day look like for Evie?
Probably would sleep a lot during the day, but when she's not, she's probably spending time in the kitchen with Grandma.
Okay, and I imagine there's probably some time with Seuss spent figuring things out. Like, you figured out that you heal really fast, and you also figured out that you can shapeshift. What can you shapeshift into specifically? I'll let you have a couple forms.
I don't know.
Probably a bat.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Bats are cool.
And then you can have 2 more that you can decide on later. You don't have to decide that right now.
Okay.
A rock.
A rock? That'd be great. That'd be hilarious.
Moss and rock.
Hey!
So what about Iris?
He'd probably offer to help out and like do chores and stuff, as well as go around the town getting to know like the local people.
Okay. How does Iris feel about the
He or
sheriff?
they?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Good question.
You can change it if you want, or you can have them change it on the whenever.
Oh, right.
He hasn't met the sheriff personally yet, somehow,
Probably seen him around.
but he's been around and he's like, oh, it's a cop. And so he just keeps his distance.
Valid.
Is it he or is it they? I just want to make sure I'm using the right ones.
Either
Iris.
or.
Okay.
Okay, valid.
Alright. So what does a day look like for Moss while they're hiding out in Evergrove?
Good questions.
You don't have to have anything in depth, just like
Mostly keeping to myself inside, sleeping for a job or whatever.
okay, valid. So before we start the mystery, I'm gonna say, Iris, what do you do about your cult asked you to bring something back from from that previous mystery? What do you do?
I meant to bring back
Cutting
a
out.
person,
Okay.
but I'm gonna send a form saying things are delayed.
Well, I will
Well,
say
you cut
I will
off the
say
guy's
there is-
leg.
there is still a vampiric leg in the mine. If you want to collect that and send it
I have to
over.
go all the way to the
What is a
mine.
disembodied leg?
I guess I can send a leg with a note saying things are delayed, more to come.
There you go.
Slowly send the vampire in pieces.
You send him in pieces, but you send him in
Yeah.
pieces, but you give him just enough time to regenerate HPs. So in the end, you just have an entire second vampire until you decapitate it. You have one of every limb.
One of every limb.
Because once you cut off his head, he's kind of dead.
Does a leg regenerate a whole vampire?
No,
Oh,
but a vampire can regenerate a whole leg. It'll just take a while. Okay, so you send a leg over, and they're kind of like, that works. So they'll give you some helpful
Oh my God,
information.
Nice.
Okay, so first I want to do a scene with Evie
Wendy.
real fast.
Wendy,
Oh.
wait.
What?
Is Petal there as well?
Yes, of course, your adorable puppo is there.
Great.
We established that Martin has dogs
Evie has a dog
and
now.
loves
Her name is
dogs,
Petal.
and Martin gave Evie a dog.
Nice.
Her name is Petal.
Her name is Petal.
She's a good girl.
Yes. Okay, so
kind of
Sorry about
dog
that.
is it?
it is
It's
a
a
Rottweiler German Shepherd.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's very good. Martin has a Rottweiler named Woofers, and another Rottweiler German Shepherd puppy named Nugget.
I love them.
It's very good. Anyway, so Evie, it's a normal day. It's actually kind of daytime. It's getting close to evening, but not quite. And there is a knock at the door. And Grandma Joan opens it, and she looks. You're not downstairs yet, but you probably heard the door. And Grandma Joan looks surprised at the three figures standing at the door, and she's like, "Can I help you?" And one of the figures, the most imposing, is a woman, and she steps forward and she says, "Yes, I heard about some certain people that are here in town, and I would love to meet them." Grandma Joan kind of looks her up and down, and she says, "I'm not quite sure what you're talking about." And the woman sighs and rubs her temple, and she says, "I recently heard that there was a attack of vampiric nature, and there had been some transformations. I just want to get everything in order there. Will you let me and my associates in, please?" And Grandma Joan she kind of like, she looks uncomfortable. She's like, yes, the three of you, come in. Let's go to the living room. I'll get the two of them. And the woman is she's very intimidating and confident, and she kind of just strides in, and she walks almost like she's floating, like her footsteps make no sound. And she walks over and she sits on the couch, and she's followed by a kind of shorter man who's carrying a clipboard, and then a woman with eyes that are completely white and hair that matches. And they all go into the living room and sit down, and they look at Grandma Joan, and the woman says, "I would like to talk to them as soon as possible. Would you please go retrieve them? And Grandma Joan kind of scurries out of the room. She doesn't really want to deal with this kind of thing. She just wants to get this over with. And she kind of calls up the stairs. Evie, Seuss, there's some people here to see you. You might want to hurry up and talk to them. And she goes back to the living room. And Seuss heads down the stairs. Evie, what do you do?
Grab my sword and go down the stairs.
Okay, so you go down the stairs and you go to the living room?
Yeah.
Okay. Briar and Iris, do either of you hear what's going on?
Of course I'm eavesdropping.
Okay.
Oh, I almost feel like Briar probably has, like... Actually, no, he wouldn't. So I guess he probably might have heard some of that and might start eavesdropping, yeah.
Okay, so Evie and Seuss enter the room, and the woman stands up and she extends a hand towards them and she says, "Hello there. It's a pleasure to meet you. I have some very important business to attend to with the two of you. I am quite sorry for what happened. If I could have prevented it, I would have, but unfortunately, it was a bit of a wild card. My name is Celine. These are my associates, Victoria and Francis, and she motions to first the woman with the white hair and then the man. And she says, "We are the Council of Vampiric Entities, and generally things are done much more by the book in terms of transformations and other such things. We don't normally force anyone into it, though I will say there are certain vampires that slip under the radar, as it were. We didn't want the same to happen to the two of you." And then Victoria pipes up and she says, "Yes, and generally, those that do slip under the radar and do things, out of the books and not the way we do, they generally get taken care of by one of your friends who's listening at the door."
Yeah.
That's too bad.
What do you guys do? Do you guys just stand there, or do you make yourselves known?
No, that
I
was
make
actually
myself
Briar. That was him being like, huh?
And you hear Victoria go, "Don't worry, I've known you were there this whole time. I might not be able to see, but my other senses are far more heightened than the normal person or vampire, for that matter." And then Celine just kind of goes, "Anyway, our business is as follows. Have either of you drank from someone without permission?"
I haven't attacked anyone and I don't plan on it.
Okay, and Seuss just shakes her head. They're like, "No." And Celine nods, and Francis writes something down on the clipboard and flips to another page and writes something else down. And she says, "Have you turned anyone?"
Lady, I just said I haven't attacked anyone, so no.
And Seuss says, "Absolutely not." And Celine nods, and Francis writes again, and then she says, "How did it feel when you turned?"
What do you think? I felt like I was dying.
And then Seuss pipes up, "Yeah, it felt like hell." And Celine kind of rubs her temples, and she's like, yes, that's tends to happen when the subject is unwilling. I figured that was the case. I'm very sorry. We're trying to track Nathaniel down now. I apologize. He was one of mine, which I guess makes you two related to me in a way.
Oh, interesting.
We work very hard to keep ourselves quiet and not well known. This is not
Makes
something
sense.
we normally do, but we needed to do a little damage control here. Anyway, we'll be in touch. And she places a business card down on the coffee table and stands up, and then
Alright,
Victoria and Francis follow suit, and they walk out the door and
thanks
disappear.
for coming.
They're just gone now. They kind of like probably pass by Briar and Iris.
How dare you? I made myself scarce.
And you,
Briar's kind of just awkwardly standing there, just
and you just hear Victoria laugh again as she exits. That's the vampire.
Not dealing with the vampires.
That's the vampire council. The council of vampires. Fancy vampires.
Evie was so sassy there. And that's how she could get herself stabbed.
Yes.
I fucking love her though.
Me too.
Evie's a good bean. So,
But she might get herself stabbed at some point if she keeps going like this.
who knows? Okay, so let's do some rolls. So, Briar, you have the premonitions. Go ahead.
Yep.
Roll 2d6 for that.
That's
2d6 plus weird.
I'm just trying to
Yeah,
find the
plus weird. A 7. All right.
Yep.
So,
Yep, on a 7 to 9 you get clouded images of something bad that is yet to happen. Mark the experience if you stop it.
okay. I have to. You just keep getting these. What? Well, no, you've only done this twice, but
Is that to say?
this is the same as it was last time.
Yeah.
Now I gotta think about what your premonition should be. Okay, so you are in the forest and you're running and running and running and you can't stop and you hear voices all around you and the sounds of like wind, but not quite wind, and you trip over a root and you fall and you hear someone close to you scream out in pain. And you look ahead of you and you see someone on the ground and then suddenly they're gone. They got ripped up off the ground by something and flung into the forest, and you hear a deafening crack as they hit the trunk of a tree, and that is your vision.
Fuck.
Alright, Iris, your occulty roll is next. So roll 2d6 plus charm. So 2d6 plus nothing.
There we go. I am professionally bad.
Mark experience.
That's what you get for sending them a leg.
That's fine. They'll find something to do with it. When I find a whole vampire, they can use that as they wish.
Isn't there a vampire in the attic still?
A feral vampire.
Maybe.
Actually,
It's
Grandma
a
Joan
magic
has been spending more time in the attic recently, and she's trying to figure out a way to, like, break the person out of the feral state, because when a vampire becomes feral, when they are killed before the fever kills them, if someone in mid-transformation is killed before the fever takes them, they become feral. So anyway, the first thing you get, Iris, is a message that is helpful because of your giving of the leg. It says, entity in the forest, weakness, fire, ? And that's that. And then they tell you there is someone in town who needs to be removed.
I like the sound of that.
Okay.
I don't.
Neither do I.
It didn't say dead, just removed.
Okay.
Dead is a very easy way to remove people, though, so.
That is true. That is a very easy way to do that. Who do you think?
Do I know?
Who do you think is the one who needs to be removed?
Let's see. The mayor.
The mayor? They probably wouldn't
No,
want the mayor removed quite yet. They might in the future, though.
the sheriff.
Yeah, the sheriff to be removed somehow, and that is your mission.
Okay.
And did you did you
I'm
mark
gonna
that?
kill him.
Did you mark that experience?
Yeah,
So you're at 4 experience now.
yeah.
Briar and Iris are just not gonna get along, are they?
Apparently not. Anyway,
He'll die.
I gotta drink some water.
Kill him.
Briar already
Is this
yelled
my
at
conscience
Iris.
speaking?
Kill him.
I'm sorry. Are you going to kill Briar's future boyfriend?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I'll
All right.
help.
So now it is start of the mystery time. So someone crouches down in the forest, and they are camouflaged, and they're watching a deer. And they take a deep breath, and they press down on the trigger, and click. Their camera snaps a beautiful, beautiful picture of this deer. And then there is a gunshot from also nearby that rings out, and the deer isn't hit. It almost was, and it runs quickly off into the forest, and he kind of looks around, and he sees fucking Brent, the game hunter. He's an asshole. He doesn't use the meat for anything. He just hunts for the
What a
thrill
dick.
of it. Yes, exactly. So he kind of looks over at him and is like, "What the fuck?" And Brent just kind of shrugs and is like, "Well, time to find another one." And he starts walking, and then all hell breaks loose as the trees start to move. The tops of them just start careening and there is no wind. And all of a sudden these branches whip out and they grab Brent and he screams as he drops his rifle, and Brian almost drops his very expensive, very fancy camera, and he also starts running as some branches come towards him, and he hears a crash as Brent is flung through the air, and he lands on the ground, and he's, he probably broke a leg, but he's not dead, and he kind of gets up, and they both just sprint forward towards however far away from the parking lot they are, and as they run, the entire forest seems to be after them. And it's like nothing either of them have ever experienced before, and they're running as fast as they can, and Brent trips, and Brian tries to help him up, but a branch grabs Brent by the ankle and pulls him away, and Brian realizes he cannot help. And he keeps running, and he makes it to the parking lot, and he hears this sickening thud behind him, and he turns around and he sees Brent just completely mangled. Like trees tried to tear him apart, and when they were done, they threw him onto the concrete of the parking lot, and the branches, the trees themselves, the entire forest is still after Brian as he hurriedly gets into his small car and tries to start it up, and it stalls for a second, and then it starts up, and he just hits the gas pedal as tough as he can, and he feels a couple branches like hit the back of his car, but it's gonna be nothing other than some cosmetic damage, and he just guns it back to town. And he goes straight to the sheriff's office, and he runs in, and he's like, something happened. Brent, I think he's dead. Something happened. You gotta. I don't know. The forest is. And Martin goes up to him and he puts a hand on his shoulder and he's like, calm down, we'll figure it out. Just tell me where, and Deputy Sylvia and I will go and check it out. And Oliver can help you he'll take your statement, just calm down. And Brian takes some deep breaths and he nods, and then Martin and Sylvia hop in the sheriff's car and they rush to the parking lot, and they find nothing. They see some blood on the concrete, but that's the only that is the only thing they see. The body of Brent is not there. And they kind of look around and they go a little ways into the forest, not too far, because they're a little weary, and they still don't see anything, and they turn around and they head back, and Martin lets Sylvia drive, and as she's driving, he dials a number, and it rings for a minute, and Grandma Joan picks up her house phone. And she's, yes? And Martin says, something attacked someone in the forest. It seems like your group of people could, they might be able to solve this quicker than I would. I'll send you all the details when I get them. And then he hangs up. And like an hour later, Martin shows up at the house and he knocks on the door. And Grandma Joan answers it, and he hands her a couple sheets of paper, gives her a nod, and then leaves. And Grandma Joan is like, everyone, to the kitchen table, please. Right now, it's very important. What do you guys,
right.
what do you guys
I'm not hungry.
It's not about that. Something happened in the forest.
Oh, well, you should have said that first. Bear comes out.
I said it was very important.
Yeah, well, you say that about dinner too, so.
Dinner is important, you know.
So you guys are at the table, and Grandma Joan kind of hands you these pieces of paper, and it's a recount of what happened in the forest to Brian and Brent. What do you guys think?
Sounds like trees are eating people.
Yeah, you think?
What about you, Briar? Have you ever dealt with something like this before?
Not personally, but I've read up on it. A couple years ago, I read about a case. Tree ants, I think they were called. I'll have to do some more research.
Grandma Joan nods and she's like, yes, that sounds like it could be. It's a possibility, but you're gonna want to hurry. Martin left directions as to where in the forest they were at the moment, and maybe you can find some more clues there.
All right, well, let's go.
Does Moss spend any time in the forest?
Can.
Okay. You're probably also, like, you're probably, like, just arriving in the parking lot.
Sounds good.
So, yeah, you guys are just gonna head over to the forest, yeah?
Yeah.
Head over to the person eating forest. Sounds reasonable.
So, Moss, it's probably, like, pretty late evening now, and or, like, early evening time, kind of just headed to the forest to chill?
Eh.
Yeah? Okay.
Vibe.
And so, then you just hear this big truck roll up, and,
I'm assuming is Grandma Joan with us?
for the moment,
Okay, good, because I was like, I don't know which one of us is driving.
the answer is Grandma Joan.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
Briar cannot drive. Or
Uh,
shouldn't. He knows how to, just does not have a license.
She kind of turns to you guys and she's like, I'm, very weary about entering the forest. I might just, stay here in case you need a, quick getaway.
Hey, why don't
Alright.
you park a bit down the street so you don't, cause trees.
Well,
And things.
if I'm down the street, you won't be able to get to me as quickly, so I'm going to stay right here in the parking lot. I am going to be right in the middle of the parking lot, far away from the trees.
just be wary of people eating trees.
I will. Good luck.
If you see any branches coming out of the forest, book it, okay?
She nods, she's like, yes, of course. So Moss, you just see this big ass truck roll up and just go immediately to the direct middle of the parking lot and park, and then 3 figures emerge from it.
E.T.
All
is
right.
worried about
Well,
her
gonna
grandma.
Stay away from that.
Would you recognize Iris from a distance?
Or Briar, you've met him once too.
No, shitty eyesight.
Okay, valid. So what are you guys doing?
Assassinator with bad eyesight.
Yeah.
Nice.
Alright, so what are you guys gonna do?
Waltz right up to the forest
Yeah, are we fucking going in or not?
and challenge the trees. to
Oh
meet
no!
me.
Don't do that.
Okay then. So as you're walking, you see kind of the blood splatter on the concrete from where Brent died.
Oh,
Very dead.
Yeah.
or just goes gross and walks
Maybe I won't
past
taunt
it.
the trees.
Hmm?
I said maybe I won't taunt the trees seeing the scene now.
Yeah, don't taunt the trees.
Maybe not. Moss, what are you doing?
I'm staying away from them, but I'm watching them.
Okay, you see them kind of look at this one part of the parking lot and then continue on into the forest.
I go about my business. I don't want to deal with what they're doing.
Okay, what are you guys doing now? So you're headed into the forest.
Yeah, I mean, just wandering in, looking for any more, like, blood. Can I see any blood that's just around?
Roll to investigate a mystery.
Okay, so that's plus sharp, so let me...
Let's see how good these rolls are this round. An 8.
Not bad.
You hold 1. So you get to ask me one of the following questions. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can it hurt? Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here?
Normally I'd ask where it went, but we're kind of in the middle of it, so what's being concealed here?
What's being concealed here is you look around and you see some plants look like they've been unnaturally moved, and you kind of brush them aside, and you see what looks clearly like someone bleeding was dragged across the ground here.
Is there a trail or just one
It's a
patch
trail.
of blood?
It's a trail. They were dragged.
Ugh, are we
Yeah, it's nasty.
following this?
Obviously, we have to see if this guy is either alive or brings us to the main source.
I
Okay,
mean,
let's go.
we've got to be tree people, maybe. So yeah.
Okay, so you guys are following the blood. I assume you're being very careful.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
So you're walking, and it goes on for quite a while, and then there's just this clearing. It's not a very large clearing. It's probably enough for maybe 10 people. It's just open, completely open up to the sky, and you see what looks like a mound of flesh in the middle of the,
Nasty.
or like, you know.
Briar
it's
just
clearing.
gags and like turns away. It's like, nope, not looking at that. Nope.
It's fucking nasty.
A flesh pile.
You have a flesh pile.
Evie's gonna
Well,
walk up to it. 'Cause
flesh-
Why not?
Flesh and clothing
Why
pile.
are you going up to the flesh pile?
All right,
Why not?
Evie, this flesh pile smells absolutely divine. Roll to act under pressure, please.
Okay.
If Evie dives into the flesh pile, Briar's gonna puke.
Fair.
He's very squeamish. It's not like blood
Can I
or
attempt
fleshy
to hold
things.
Evie back
I got
if
a
I
9.
notice?
Got a 9?
I got a 9.
Okay, I'll say that you resist it. It just, it smells so good though. It smells
Evie,
delicious.
maybe stay away from the tree food pile. Ugh.
Shut up.
Do I
I
notice,
do what I
like,
want.
Evie, like, salivating or anything?
Their eyes are glowing ever so slightly.
I don't think you want to eat that, Evie. You don't know where it's been.
Well, it's
For
been in the
once,
forest.
actually listen to him.
Forest. That's
Yeah, but
It's.
you know what else is in the forest? Not edible things.
we're also in the forest. And you're all edible, right?
Mostly, not the clothes.
Okay.
I don't like where this conversation is
Well,
going.
also, I
Did
don't think a
Evie just
dagger.
fucking say we're in the forest and you're all edible?
Yeah. Also, daggers are generally not edible.
Or
Yeah.
big ass axes.
Or,
Or guns.
Or swords.
Can we please focus on the fucking case?
Do you need
Please.
a nose plug, Briar?
Fuck you. For one thing.
Okay,
I have one. It wasn't a joke.
alright,
He just glares at you.
I'm gonna need, one of you to roll, investigate a mystery.
Who has the best sharp?
Sharp, I think I have +1.
+1.
+1,
Yeah.
0,
I haven't rolled in a bit.
1. Yeah, Iris, roll into investigate a mystery. And then we'll switch over to Moss. A
Ahaha.
12! Alright, so you get to hold 2. You get to ask me one of the following questions. What happened
Yeah.
here? What sort of creature is it? What can it do? What can it hurt? Where did it go? What was it going to do? Or what is being concealed here? You get to
What
ask
was
me 2
it
of those.
going to do?
What was it going to do?
Yeah.
You realize in the entirety of your exploration here, you have not seen Brent's rifle that he tried to shoot the deer with. You have not seen it at all, and it's like it's just gone. Like something did not want Brent to kill that deer, and when he shot at it, it got angry.
Okay. So, what can hurt it?
What can hurt it? You think back to a message you got from your cult that said forest creature or something along those lines. Weakness fire? Question mark? So you're guessing
Fire.
if this
Okay.
thing is made of plants, its weakness is most likely fire.
Sounds like a reasonable answer.
Alright,
Dara's gonna relay any of this information.
Maybe.
okay. Moss, what are you doing?
I don't know. I'm vibing in the forest.
You vibing in the forest?
I'm sitting under a tree thinking about things.
Okay.
I don't know.
So you're sitting there and everything's really chill and you're having a good time,
Yeah.
doing whatever.
I'm gonna take a breath, take a step away from everything.
Okay, doing whatever Moss do. And
Hanging out on trees is what Moss does.
yeah. And then you
Oh my god.
you you hear something to the left of you, like something stepped on a branch.
Okay, I get super alert and
Dude.
like ready to fight or run.
Do you turn and look?
Yeah.
And right over there is a deer, and it's not a normal deer. There's something off about it. It's completely and utterly pure white, and it looks almost like it's glowing. And it just kind of looks at you and takes a step forward. What do you do?
Laugh at me. I don't take a step back, but I don't know what to do now.
Okay. It's kind of just looking at you, and then it breaks into a run right at you,
God.
and it passes right through you,
Oh,
and then continues on into the
Alright,
forest.
well, that was horrifying. I came here to have a good time, and honestly, I am feeling so attacked right now.
That's valid.
You talk went right through you, though.
Yeah, but it charged me.
So, what do you do now?
I will follow the deer.
Okay, so you're just following this.
The heck is this glowing thing?
Yeah, okay, so you're following it. Alright, back to the rest of the group. What are y'all doing?
I guess I would have told them that, like, the weapon was missing.
And what you told them about fire most likely being a good tactic to use?
No.
Okay.
I figure
Still staring at the pile.
they would have figured that part out because we're in a forest and fire sets things on fire.
Okay.
The
Valid.
fire also sets the rest of the forest on fire, not just what we're doing. We're not trying to burn down the entire forest.
Yeah.
Are we the ones who started
We're
that
in
big
the
forest
forest,
fire
so-
in, like, was it 2018, 2019?
The one is in, like, Canada?
The one that was, like, in Canada and Eastern Washington.
I don't know. Up to you guys, I guess. But this is 2020, so...
We're gonna start another fire.
No.
Let's not.
Oh, no, let's not do that.
Make it unsafe for the old people to go outside to breathe, even though it's already unsafe for the old people to go outside and breathe.
Oh my god.
This is a non-quarantine AU.
Yeah, this is magic world in which there is no quarantine. There was no need for it. Anyway, continuing on, you guys see as suddenly this white deer just bursts into the clearing, and Moss, you've been following the deer, and the deer kind of just leaps into this clearing, and you can see the three people, and you see what looks like a disgusting pile of flesh, and one of them is looking at it very hungrily.
I examine the people more closely.
Okay.
Just recognize.
Can we see Moss yet?
No.
Okay.
I want to make you roll, but I don't know what to make you roll. Maybe... Let's have you roll to read a bad situation.
Okay.
So roll plus sharp. Your
What?
sharp is plus 2, so 2d6 plus 2. Oh, oof. That is a failure.
But I
It's a
did it
quality
right.
roll.
You did do it right. You did
You even
do it
had a plus
absolutely
2
right.
and everything.
You get 1
Okay.
experience, and I'm gonna say you can't really recognize anyone. It's just a clearing with a weird flesh pile in the middle of it.
So I stay back and observe.
Okay, so guys, this white deer just burst into the clearing. What are you guys doing?
What the fuck?
Ah,
Kind of just looks at you.
immediately just vibing with the deer.
He's vibing. Normal
Briar
vibe.
kind of has his hand in his coat, like on his knife. Not pulling it out yet, but just like, if it comes closer, self-defense.
So is Iris normal vibing or attack vibing?
Normal vibing because I don't want to scare the deer.
Okay, valid.
He's more focused on the deer now. Pile.
Evie, don't eat the deer.
I'm not gonna eat the deer.
If you can't eat the deer,
It's a pretty deer.
it is a very pretty glowing deer.
I want to pet it.
It kind of takes a step forward, like a cautious step forward, as it kind of looks over the three of you. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna turn towards the deer.
You turn towards the deer.
Yeah.
Okay. Could you speak up a little bit, please?
Sorry.
Okay.
Look at the deer.
So you look at the deer, and it takes another step forward. It's getting closer to you guys.
Can I roll to investigate a mystery?
Yes.
Like, I want to know what sort of deer this might be, if
Yeah.
I know anything about
Yeah,
that.
go ahead. Roll 2d6 plus sharp.
There you go, I
6.
didn't do it.
Hope you cannot tell anything about this deer. It's a deer, but now you level up.
I sure do.
So you get to choose an improvement.
Yeah, good job.
So you can do that, and it takes another step forward. It's getting even closer to you guys now.
Briar kind of like takes a very slow, cautious step back and just like pulls out his recorder and just starts recording, being like, found a giant pile of flesh and a glowing white deer in the forest. Not sure if they're related. We'll note more on this later. Turns it off and puts it back in his coat.
Okay. Moss, what are you doing?
I will step into the clearing.
Okay. You guys kind of see this other person step into the clearing, and the deer doesn't really react like it knew they were there. When this other person steps into the clearing, what do you guys do?
Do I recognize?
And do either of us recognize them?
You probably will in a minute, but they're slightly too far away.
Just gonna beckon the person over.
Okay.
Hey, you over there.
I stay where I'm standing and I say, "Do you guys know what the hell that is?" And I point at the deer.
It's some sort of white glowy deer.
Oh, wow, really?
Well, that's accurate.
I don't know, might be some sort of forest entity. Probably best not to mess with it.
The deer takes another step, but this time it is headed towards Briar.
I don't like that.
Is that all you do?
I don't know whether stepping backwards more will make it come towards me more, so no, I just stand still, but my hand is now back on my knife in my coat. Not pulling it out, just if I get charged, I can protect myself.
And kind of
Mhm.
just It just looks at you, and then you hear a noise in the forest, and its head perks up, and it just bolts right through you, Briar.
Ah!
And then
What the fuck?
you hear something that's very obviously an unnatural noise. You just hear. And then the trees come to life, and the branches start whipping around, and they're not
Oh,
attacking you, they're just putting on a show.
Oh.
What do you guys
I
do?
put up my knife in front of me, just like, if any of them come too close.
Forest. Do not mess with it. Put the knife down.
How are we supposed to
I'm
fight an
defending
entire
myself.
forest?
I
How are
don't
we
think
supposed
we're
to fight an
supposed to.
entire
A
forest?
tiny knife won't do shit.
It's a big knife, thank you very much.
A big knife won't do shit to a killer forest. Put it down.
So you.
I'm gonna
Oh,
burn
the
the
branches
forest.
kind of just are whipping around, and you just hear.
Okay, why the fuck is the forest laughing?
And the laughter is like traveling around the forest. It's obvious from one source, but it's traveling around the trees, so you can't really get a good read on where exactly it's coming from.
Is everyone hearing this or just Briar?
Everyone's hearing this.
Okay.
And the branches start whipping around faster and faster, and they're like kind of like whipping around your guys' heads, like barely missing them, and like
Hmm.
kind of getting real close to your arms and real close to you guys, but they're not actually hitting you.
Can I hold flames in my hands? I'm not gonna do anything with it.
I just don't fucking. Everyone just stay the fuck still?
Okay, do you actually want to cast Flaming Hands?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and just use magic. So roll plus weird.
Iris just has, or not Iris, Briar just has his big knife ready
12.
just in case
Alright, so-
a thing grabs him.
It works without issues. I'm gonna say it's do one thing that is beyond human limitations, and you're trying to intimidate the trees with flaming hands. So your hands catch fire, and then the branches kind of just turn towards you, and all of them at once go right in your direction, Iris.
Oh.
That's cool. Can I make a fire explosion?
Yeah, go ahead and roll
I'm
to kick some
standing
ass.
right next to you!
roll to kick some ass.
And I rolled a dodge.
Oh god. Here we go. I took the get +1 tough, by the way, so it's just the base roll.
Okay.
6.
Ooh. Ouch.
It's okay.
Ooh.
Things are okay. We're fine.
So
This is completely fine.
the branches go right after you, and they kind of trip you, and you take 1 harm, ignoring your armor.
Okay, that's fine. I only have 2 harm, I think.
You have no harm anymore because this is after this has been a couple weeks, so you're all healed.
Okay, does my luck reset too?
Nope. Your
No.
luck remains the same.
Okay,
Pretty
so
sure
I
you'll.
still have 1 luck used.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
just 1 harm.
these.
I guess I'm gonna put out my hands.
Okay, so you put out your hands before you can catch the forest floor on fire.
Okay, good idea.
Okay. Oh, that should have been what I did. Anyway, no. You fall on the ground and your hands kind of fizzle out, and the trees seem very interested in you, and you just do.
Can I tune in to figure out what it's planning to do right now?
Okay, go ahead. Roll plus weird.
Okay.
What'd you get? You got it in 11.
Um,
Alright, so you hold.
3.
Oh,
I hold
also
3.
did.
Yeah, because it's on a 10 plus.
Which one what is this again? This is
Tune in.
tune in. Okay, yeah.
Top right.
Yep, go ahead.
What is it planning to do right now?
You can tell it's not planning to hurt you. It seems more like it's just messing with you and having fun with it. You get 2 more.
I mean, none of the others, because I can tell where the fuck the creature is right now.
Mhm.
It's pretty obvious its attention is on Iris, so the 2 after what I already asked, and then I don't want to attract its attention. I've already figured that out too.
Okay.
I guess the where is the creature right now, just in case it is centered somewhere.
Okay, you're kind of looking around, trying to figure out exactly where this comes from, and you just hear a come from a specific part of the forest, and you look over, and you just see this weird green humanoid creature, and it looks kind of impish, and then it's just gone. But you can tell it's not the trees that are attacking you, it's whatever this creature is.
Fucking nymph, isn't it? Fuck.
Yeah.
I guess The only other question would be, how can I attract its attention? In case I would want to.
You could potentially attract its attention the same way Iris did by
I mean, I
casting some kind of fire. You also get the kind of feeling that if you were to engage any of the branches more than they're engaging you, like if you were to slice into one of the branches, that would attract its attention.
Don't want to attract its attention, so I'm going to avoid doing those things. So I put
Valid.
my knife away.
Very valid.
It's like, okay, I think it's a nymph, and I don't think it wants to hurt us so long as we don't hurt it. With that said, I think we should get the fuck out of here. And he starts trying to help Iris up, begrudgingly.
Oh, but the flesh pile.
Hey, Briar.
Fuck the flesh pile right now.
What are you guys doing? Are you guys gonna get the fuck out?
Evie, come on, and whoever the fuck you are, you're coming with us too. Come on.
I suppose we're leaving then.
Okay, so you guys start heading out, and this entire time as you're walking through the forest, you can tell this creature is following you and making the trees move more, and it's just kind of and as you, nothing really happens as you exit the forest, but you hear it say, goodbye! And then the trees stop moving.
Hated that.
Seems awfully nice. You know, not killing us at all.
Yeah, but it's harder to deal with a monster like that isn't just...
At the end of the day, if we wanted to get rid of this monster, we could just burn down the forest.
Yeah, except that might set fire to the entire town.
I mean, maybe.
That seems a little extreme. I'm just like...
Yeah, you think?
They just burn down portions of it.
As you're talking about burning down the forest, Iris, you see that white deer again.
Oh.
And it's kind of looking at you, and it looks angry. And then you feel a branch whip out and trip you.
That's
and
fair
then
enough.
it wraps around your ankle and starts dragging you into the forest. What do you do?
I grab their hands.
Damn it.
It's like, God damn it, Iris,
Okay.
this is why you don't talk about burning down the forest around a fucking wood nymph. Have you
Can
never
I
done this shit before? First you
not
let the
die?
fucking vampire go, and then this.
Okay,
You are
let's
so...
to not die, just roll. Let's just say roll to act under pressure.
What is that?
I'm helping him out, because I am
Plus
grabbing
cool.
his hands.
Plus cool. Yeah,
So
go
can
ahead.
I roll help
Yeah,
out?
go ahead and
6,
roll to
I
help
think,
out.
plus 1. It's okay. I got an 8.
Okay.
Just a second.
And then, Evie, you could also roll to help because I think you're also grabbing Iris. Was that what you were doing, yeah?
I got a 12 to help out.
Nice. That gives a +1, I think, still?
I
that gives a +1.
don't know.
Yeah, it gives a
I
+1.
probably have the other book open as well.
So
It's
a 9.
okay. It's still going to be a 9 regardless.
And then,
It would have been
Iris,
in the 7 to 9.
You gonna roll to
What?
help
I
out?
did.
No. Oh, sorry. Evie, you gonna roll to help out? Sorry, that's what I
I
meant.
rolled a 10.
You rolled a 10? Alright, so that gives you another +1, and that brings Iris up to a 10! Which means
Yay.
you do what you set out to do, which is get yourself untrapped from
Okay.
this branch, and you're free from the branch trying to drag you into the forest.
Okay, no burning forests. I get it.
Moss, what are you doing? I think you guys would probably recognize each other now.
Kind of like a lot has happened in a very short amount of time, and I'm
Yes.
kind of like,
Processing.
yeah, stuttering and kind of stumbling, not really knowing what to do.
Okay.
Are you fucking coming or not? I mean, you can stay in the murder happy forest, or you could come with us out of the murder happy forest.
Yeah, I'm coming, and I start following you guys.
Okay, so do you guys head back to Grandma Jones' truck?
Yeah, Grandma, we got another person.
Grandma Joan looks kind of surprised, and she's like, oh, okay.
Also,
What
it's
happened?
nymph.
I
It-
The
It's
forest tried to
nymphs.
kill me
I
like
am.
twice.
Well,
The
only
forest
because
tried
only because you fucking dared to set it on fucking fire, you idiot.
I mean, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, well, fucking wood nymph isn't gonna risk the difference.
No, I suppose not. Anyway, would I know Moss's name?
If
Actually, I didn't think about that.
you guys are friends, probably.
Yeah.
But that's up to you two to decide.
Yeah, you can know my name. My name's Moss.
Okay. Anyway, this is Moss. You found him in the forest,
Give a
where
little
Moss
bow.
usually resides. You know.
I was just like,
Wait,
you found moss in the forest. That's very fitting. That's very fitting.
would Briar have recognized them at this point? I know they've only met once, but now that they're actually up close and as the name, would it have clicked for Briar, you think?
Probably, at least a little bit.
Wait,
Eh,
never mind.
All right, so are you guys headed back to Grandma Jones' house, or do you have other things you want to do before that?
I don't
I
think
want
so.
answers. I want to know what the heck's going on.
Okay. So
Good
you
The
question.
fucking what nymph? I said this like
Oh,
10
what nymph?
times.
You're headed back to Grandma Jones' house, and you're just gonna regroup and disperse information and such.
Sure. We'll probably talk along the car ride. Where would we just head back to Grandma Jones then? Unless Moss does not want to go back to Grandma Jones.
I will go back to Grandma Jones because I know at least 2 of the people here, and I'm
Cool with that.
So y'all head back to Grandma Jones, and Grandma Joan probably leads you all to the dining table and gets some paper and pens and stuff so you guys can write out information and such.
Briar does not take any. He just has his recorder out.
Okay.
Just play on it, or the record on it.
We doing arts and crafts now?
If you guys want, you can draw some spooky forests.
I mean, I'll doodle on my notes, obviously.
Okay, so discuss.
What was that?
I saw a nymph.
Okay.
When the branches were whipping around, I saw it. They're like green forest people, and they really fucking hate it when people fuck with the forest. Like, shooting deer or threatening to set it on fire. That kind of shit.
It's just, banter. They'll get it in time. Not the shooting deer part. What I did. It's okay.
Anyways, there's also a fucking flesh pile in the middle of the forest. I don't know whether that's related, because
How
I
does a
don't
nymph need with a
remember.
flesh pile?
I was gonna say nymphs don't really eat flesh from what I've researched. I'm gonna have to do more research on it if only my
I mean,
fucking research partner would ever fucking reply to me.
Evie, I will say, when you smelled the flesh, it smelled human. It was probably Brent.
wait, how big is this flesh pile? Real quick.
Human size.
Oh, just like one person sized?
Oh, I thought it was a whole
Listen.
pile
Nope,
of bodies.
one
thinking-
human size. One human size flesh pile.
I was thinking a massive mound of several people sized.
Yeah, that's what I was imagining too.
It's just one so far.
A little lump of flesh, then.
Yeah, human-sized lump of flesh that smelled delicious to
Okay,
Evie.
that makes a lot more sense.
Evie, do you
Yeah.
relay this information?
Well,
It's probably best not to eat dead people, though,
Do what I
even if they smell good. I don't know how the whole vampire thing works, but I think
Yeah,
dead
vampires
people
don't-
is the
vampires
best
don't-
option.
eat, you drink, you don't. I doubt. Not my business.
So Moss, what's your business in town?
It's the same as usual.
Yeah, I'm coming here to lay low and take a small break from denseness, and I made a mistake in coming here, I guess.
Yeah, you picked the wrong fucking town.
The wrong
What the
tiny
hell
little
What was
Washington.
all of that?
Who knows? It was
Oh,
a ghost deer.
Ghost deer, giant pile of flesh.
It was
Well,
one
not giant, just
person-sized
one
pile of
person.
flesh.
I feel like any size pile of flesh is a giant size.
That's fair enough. I think it's a mound more than anything.
What?
I think, yeah, the trees came alive. I think Briar said something about a nymph doing that.
Yeah, it
So
wasn't.
may- so
It wasn't
not
actually the
treants.
trees. I thought it was
Unfortunately.
treants, but I mean,
Treants are
nymphs
so
are a
cool.
little easier to deal with as long as you don't fuck with the forest. They don't fuck with you, but it's
Yeah.
hard to keep people from fucking with the forest. You can't just put up a sign saying nymphs here. Don't fuck with the forest, because people aren't gonna fucking listen.
Well,
Yes, people tend not to listen to keep out signs and other such warnings.
keep out signs means something interesting's there.
Exactly.
It's an invitation more than anything.
Invitation to get yourself killed, usually.
Eh. Death is only an option. You just have to say no.
That's not how that works.
I mean,
I'm sorry, but
I
love
was
that.
about to die from the force there, and I said no, and I didn't.
Because
so.
Evie and I dragged your ass out from the. Fuck you. Fuck you.
The gods work in mysterious ways. Also, thanks.
No, fuck you.
Oh, I love Iris so much. This is so good.
You can just let a little bit of the cult slip out.
Yeah. And Grandma Joan kind of just goes, I put a roast in before we left. Let's see if that's done. Maybe we can have
Roast.
some dinner.
I'm
Roast
good.
beast.
Goodbye.
Oh, come on,
Are
Briar.
you sure? I made some mashed potatoes. Evie helped me.
Briar,
You
quit
always
being
go away
mean.
for
There's plenty of
dinner.
food.
Not always. Fine.
Do you want?
He sits back down.
Do you want to stay? Moss.
Okay.
Grandma
makes a really good roast beast.
And she gets the roast out of the oven, and you guys have a tasty dinner.
It's
Any dinner
ham,
conversations? Go ahead.
but
Briar just has a very small portion, eats quickly, occasionally glares at Iris, and then leaves the table.
Grandma Joan tries to stop him. She puts her arm out to dry.
My turn for dishes.
Wow, stay
of course
for
you leave. See ya, Briar.
just stay for some conversation. And I mean, if you really don't want to, I won't force you. But
Don't want to make Grandma Joan upset, do you?
Just shifts uncomfortably
Kinda
onto
Briar.
and kind of shuffles back to the table. Just sits down, folds his arms, doesn't say anything, but he's there at least.
So, Briar, what are you getting up to in that study of yours all the time?
Researching monsters, so when the town gets attacked, we know what to fucking do. What have you been doing in your time? Anything productive to help?
I've been getting to know the local people.
everyone except the sheriff.
Businesses, well, the sheriff. Avoid.
Briar's been
law
getting to know the
enforcement.
sheriff.
Briar's been avoiding the sheriff since ice cream.
Just getting to know the local people, shops, and whatnot. Since it seems we're going to be here quite a bit longer than intended.
Yeah.
Moss and Evie, do you guys have anything to say during dinner?
Nah, I'm just thinking.
Okay. Evie, as you're eating, you feel something brush up against your leg.
Baby,
What do? You feel something brush up against your leg.
pick it up.
Okay, you
Pick up the baby.
you pick up a 1-year-old Rottweiler German Shepherd mix, and immediately the dog starts licking your face because they absolutely love you.
Amazing.
Briar only softens up when the dog is around.
Very valid. Petal kind of starts leaning over towards your plate. Have you finished?
Petal.
Have you finished
Give
eating?
the dog the food.
Yeah.
Petal
Give
starts
the dog the
leaning over
food.
towards your plate, like tongue out, looking very, very hungry for whatever is left.
I'll just kind of pull her back. Baby, I know.
Give the dog the food.
Was that in character?
Yes.
Grandma Joan just kind of looks at Iris. She says, "Not at the table."
All right.
Fine.
And end.
I'm still sneaking a piece underneath the table.
Valid. Petal takes it and licks your hand.
Good. No authority can stop me, except maybe killer trees.
I still love how at this point we've kind of just set up that Briar and Iris are just probably just never going to get along.
It's okay. We get along together in pen pal.
Yeah, they
Which I
just
haven't
don't
written in a
know.
while.
They don't know that it's the other one. Though Briar did actually mention that Iris has not been replying.
Yeah,
Yeah, you did.
I'm not gonna say anything, but I might just go and reply.
Just because.
Has Iris figured it out that it's Briar?
No.
Because Briar does not know that it's Iris.
No, it's just
Iris
like
has
a
no
reminder.
idea. He just remembers that he also has a pen pal that he hasn't replied to in a while. Also, he hasn't changed his mailing address, so he's probably not even getting the letters.
Is it email
Oh,
or mail?
I figured we were doing email.
Email.
Yeah,
Iris
Briar.
gets all his emails through actual mail. He knows how email works. Just prefers to do it inconveniently.
Valid.
Somebody has to type up all the letters.
God damn it.
Alrighty. What are y'all?
Anything important going on here?
No. What do you? Do you guys just settle in for the night, or is there anything you guys want to do before you sleep?
Briar immediately, as soon as he goes into his room, starts researching nymphs, starts researching just anything that he thinks might help with the situation.
Okay. What else? What are each of you guys doing as you settle in? Moss. Before you leave, Grandma Jones like, I have an extra room if you need one.
I'd much rather sleep where I'm more comfortable. Thank you.
Grandma
your
Jones nods and she's like, all right,
hospitality.
if you ever change your mind, just let me know. Would
Nod
you
and leave.
would you like a ride back to town or?
No, thank you.
All right. You have a good night.
Thank you. You too.
What are the rest of y'all doing?
Playing with the
Playing with
dog.
Yes, playing with the dog.
So the two of you are bonding, playing with the dog.
Yes.
Good, good.
Yes.
Briar is researching.
I still love how I say I want to do inter-character scenes. I, the player, do. My character does not, which makes it a little hard.
A little bit.
Just play with the dog. It always works.
Yes.
Oh, but you guys are playing with the dog.
Come play with the dog.
Is
The
there
dog
anything
beckons.
particular you guys are doing? Because now it's nighttime.
It's nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
It's nighttime.
Does that mean I should sleep?
If you
I don't
want
know what a
to.
sleep schedule is.
There's other things
All,
you can do.
all I
than
know is that
sleep.
Briar
Go to the
was...
forest. I want to go to the forest.
Me too.
Are you?
Briar's still researching. Briar's literally going to stay up researching until he passes out at his desk.
I'm
So
gonna knock on Briar's door and invite him to come to the forest.
okay.
Iris, let me come to the forest with you.
Okay, bring your sword.
Why are we going? But we just left.
Exactly.
Investigation.
We're-
Investigation.
No, fucking research.
Fine, you go do that. We'll go to the forest and actually do
You'll be
some
home
shit.
base.
I
It's fine. The secret mission
Do you have
is
a
afoot.
way to contact or something?
Nope.
I got this cell phone here.
Okay, let's go. Let's go to the forest.
Ah, fuck.
Let's go. Right now.
I will say Grandma
Briar,
Jones. Grandma
I don't
Jones'
care
house
about what
is
you
like
say,
right
Brian,
near
we're
the.
going.
Grandma Jones' house is right near the forest, so you
Shh,
have
just
really
like
easy
Grandma
access.
Joan might wake up.
fuck.
Sorry.
Fine, I'm coming. Fuck.
I will
Wait,
say-
1 second.
You guys are downstairs because Briar's room is downstairs and Grandma Jones is upstairs. So
Nice.
I'm just gonna leave a
Just
little
like
note being
fucking
like, we're gonna go to the
fine.
forest.
see you later.
Be back soon. Love.
So you guys head out to the
I'm
forest.
only coming because I don't trust you. Points Iris.
So you trust me then?
More than them, but you're also 17.
What if I water the forest instead of setting it on fire? Do they still get mad?
Only one way
You
to
wanna-
find out.
Okay, guys, how about this? Next time when we go into the forest, try not to step on anything living.
It's very hard to do with like
Oh.
the entire forest floor is living.
I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Roll's Fate. Such interesting things are happening in the forest. I hope no one dies. Make sure to tune in every other Saturday at 2 p.m. to catch our upcoming episodes. I hope you all have a wonderful day and goodbye.